war had engulfed the world. Germany had been brought to its knees, with the final blow coming from the Soviets in 1945. The only power left standing in the way of peace was Japan. With the attack on Pearl Harbor, the U.S. was forced to intervene to stop the war from continuing. In the early hours of August 6, 1945, the Enola Gay took off from Northfield Air Base, flying 6 hours to Hiroshima. No one knew the magnitude of the cargo they were dropping. At 8:15 a.m., the bomb gates were opened. With the bomb's detonation, the crew quickly went silent. My God, what have we done? Nuclear fission was a concept that dates back to 1932. However, it was only in 1939 when the United States began funded research into the topic. With the escalation of World War II, there were fears that Germany was in the process of developing nuclear weapons. Hitler was buying up large stockpiles of uranium. He also controlled vitally important uranium mines in Europe. This enticed the U.S. military to hijack their neighbor department's nuclear fission research and begin research into creating atomic weapons. Code-named the Manhattan Project, the development of nuclear weaponry by the United States of America changed the world. It opened the door to endless destruction. Led by Julius Robert Oppenheimer, the race was on. The Manhattan Project employed thousands of scientists, spanning over 30 sites. It was almost impossible to keep the project secret. 3 whole towns were built around the research for the Manhattan Project. These towns didn't show up on any official maps, and no one inside was allowed to leave. For years, scientists worked tirelessly to produce a wild-shot weapon that they weren't sure would have a war-changing outcome. As far as they knew, the Germans were further ahead than they were, but they pushed on. Army generals became impatient and wondered if Oppenheimer would be able to devise a plan to use the radioactive properties of plutonium and uranium to poison the German food supply. Knowing the potential of his project, Oppenheimer refused to let his research dwindle down to poisoning food. He was a decorated scientist with an immense understanding of his craft. But managing a project of this scale was a different kind of science. A science he made an effort to learn. He became the father of the nuclear bomb, fathering the future of nuclear weaponry and destruction. By May of 1945, Germany had declared their unconditional surrender, burning all information regarding their nuclear program. Hitler had committed suicide, and the war was coming to an end. By July, the United States conducted its first nuclear test. Codenamed Trinity, the test was conducted in a desert in New Mexico, far away from prying eyes. With a yield of 25 kilotons of TNT, this was the first nuclear bomb ever detonated, the beginning of the end. 2 bombs were further developed, code-named Little Boy and Fat Man. Japan, the only remaining Axis power in World War II, refused to surrender after Germany's defeat. Allied powers debated on the course ahead, but it was agreed that a message needed to be sent. A message that would echo through time. The Allies are in charge now. By the eve of August 6th, Hiroshima was absolutely decimated. Little Boy was dropped from 31,000 feet and detonated over 1,000 feet above the city. In a bright flash, 150,000 people met their end instantly. Yielding the power of around 15 kilotons of TNT, Little Boy was merely a starter for what was about to come. With Japan's further refusal to surrender, the Allies ordered another bombing of a prominent Japanese city, Nagasaki. This time, the bomb yielded over 25 kilotons of TNT, leading to the deaths of over 100,000 people. Scientists traveled to Hiroshima after the war to study the after effects of their creation. What they found brought them to their knees. They found absolute decimation at a scale they never thought possible. This enticed many to begin protesting against the use of nuclear weaponry in the future. Now I have become death, the destroyer of worlds. If you liked this video, give us a thumbs up and consider subscribing. We'll see you in the next one. In the meantime, stay curious.